And with that, I'm happy to take questions. Thank you. Well, why don't we go left to my left to your right? Yeah. Ian.
Which member or members of the congressional delegation encouraged you to pursue this run?
I'm not going to discuss any private conversations that I had, but I will say that I consulted widely with a number of people who I respect.
Follow up. You told supporters Sunday that you were going to pursue this congressional run. You put out a statement later in the day saying you were sticking to the run for governor. Now you say you're in for Congress definitely. Why the back and forth?
It's a big decision, right? It's a big decision because I believed in what we were doing in the governor's race. I invested a lot of time into putting out a platform that I felt good about. We had a great team and coalition that I was proud of. And, you know, it's a big decision on multiple levels. You know, I've got as I said, a 3-month-old son at home. It's a big decision. But ultimately, I do feel that the fight of our generation is happening right now in Washington, and I need to do everything that I can to make sure that the side of democracy, the side of workers' rights, women's rights prevails.
Do you have any plans to move to the 2nd Congressional District? And if not, why should the people who vote there elect someone who doesn't live there?
So for the last 7 years, I have served the people of the 2nd District as state treasurer. I've been to every community in the district. I've listened to people's concerns and thoughts and aspirations in every community in the 2nd District. And I've won elections in the 2nd District, which is, again, the case we're making here. We need in this district, in this year, a candidate who has a track record of running and winning in the district. I live 1 mile away from the district today, and yes, we are committed to moving to the 2nd District. So, yes. Let's go, Ed, Brian, and then Dan. Yeah.
Respond to criticism that you're being opportunistic. Like you said, you don't live in the 2nd Congressional District.
I say that we need to hold this seat in Democratic hands, and we need a candidate in the Democratic ticket who has run in the district, won in the district, represented the district for the last 7 years, as I have as state treasurer. We need to maximize our chances of winning the seat. Look, this is, you all know this is serious business this year. You know, Trump is not going away. Kevin McCarthy is not going away. This is a year that the pundits say could be a year when Republicans are on the offensive nationally. We can't mess around, and we have to hold this seat.
There was no shortage of Democratic candidates interested in the seat. Why?
Yeah, because I have won elections district-wide. I know the whole district. I've spent time in the whole district. I've served the whole district. And so I believe strongly that we need a candidate on the Democratic ticket who has a track record of winning elections, general elections, district-wide, not just in one community or another, but across the whole district. We cannot mess around with this seat in this of all election years. Brian.
Supporting in the governor's race?
Whoever the Democratic nominee is. Brian.
You said it's a big decision, but
Yeah.
doesn't it look like you're kind of office shopping to switch from one race to another? What do you tell people who just look like it is an opportunity to move to go to something you might be more able to do?
What I tell people is that Democrats have to hold this seat, period. And this is the defining fight of our generation, what is happening in Washington, D.C. right now. This is not like other years or other decades or other eras. We all have to be all in to make sure that Donald Trump and Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans in Washington don't turn back the clock in our democracy, and so we have to maximize our chances of winning this seat.
And so why follow up back on
Yeah.
why are you Steph asked, sorry,
Yeah.
just to clarify, did you say you would move only if you win into the district, or would you move beforehand?
Well, we're committed to moving. I can't put an exact timeline on it. We're going to look at houses. We're going to see, you know, what we find, how soon we find it, but we are committed to doing it. I said Dan next and then Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of ask a little bit different version of the question that Ian asked. I know you don't want to talk about who you talk to, but I mean, can you just put into context sort of what the last couple of days have been like, and if you've thought about this? I imagine it must be a little bit agonizing, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's been a very hard decision. But what it ultimately came down to for me is where can I have the most impact for Rhode Islanders? And I believe that where I can have the most impact for Rhode Islanders is in making sure that the seat stays in Democratic hands. We do our part as a state to keep a Democratic Congress, hopefully, and that I deliver on issues that I have always worked on, education, climate, infrastructure, by delivering resources from Washington to Rhode Island. Ultimately, it was a calculation of where can I have the greatest impact. Has it been a tough decision and a challenging couple of days, absolutely, but the challenges that I've faced are nothing compared to what most people are facing, you know, big decisions about how to pay the bills, how to keep up with the cost of living. Those are the considerations that drive my decision.
You were initially.
And I said Steve next, and then, sorry, Steve, Patrick, yeah.
Given the
I'm trying,
spectrum
guys.
of Democrats, why are you that Democrat that
Yeah.
can win this and represent?
Because I've done it before. I mean, I'm the only one in the race at this point who has done it before, who has run district-wide, won district-wide, been all across the district, campaigned across the district. I know every community in the district, and that's what it's going to take to win. Patrick?
Did your poll numbers in the governor's race really make this decision?
No, we haven't done a poll in the governor's race in many months. Yeah.
How are you doing? How do you think you were doing?
I think we were doing well. I mean, look, again, I'm very proud of the fact that we had a broad coalition of supporters, that we had a, I think, very robust and progressive platform that we put forward. I'm proud of that. And that's why this was such a hard decision. But I'm asking everyone, whether they supported me in my prior races or not, to join with me in this fight, because I do believe that the future of the country is at stake. And I said Ian next, and I'll be back. Yeah.
To follow up on Patrick's question, you were initially perceived and described in some news reports as the top rival to Governor McKee. You probably would not be getting into this race if you saw a clear path to the governor's office, or a very competitive path to the governor's office. What happened?
What happened was the possibility emerged that this seat could go to the hands of the Republicans in a very critical time in our country. After the first few days, it became clear that no one else who had the experience of running and winning statewide was going to get into the race. And I felt that somebody had to, who would be a strong candidate for the Democrats and had a track record of running and winning, so that we can do our best as a state to maintain it, do our part in maintaining a Democratic Congress and delivering for Rhode Islanders. Yes?
All right, Mr. Treasurer, James from Providence Business News. So again, you switched from going from governor, and now in a matter of months, you're going to run for Congress now. Are you, legitimately, are you concerned about any bad perception you may receive from voters, regardless of which district it is, who may view this as more of like a self-interest more than serving the public's interest?
The voters in the 2nd District know me. Like, again, I have, over the last 7 years as state treasurer, I have served the entire district. I've been to the entire district. I have delivered on issues like school construction, where we led a big statewide school construction initiative that is delivered for the 2nd District, clean energy projects through the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank, managing the pension system to an all-time high. The voters of the 2nd District know me. They know I can deliver results. They know that I'm a person of integrity. They know that I'm a person who believes in delivering on issues and substance. And so, no, I fully expect that we will win this race because the voters of the 2nd District know me. Yeah.
Who on the Republican side of this race are you worried about,
Oh.
taking that position?
I'm worried about any Republican. I mean, this is a district, and you all know this, this is a district where Hillary Clinton only got 51% of the vote. We are in what pundits are saying could be a wave Republican year nationally. So this is not a seat that Democrats can sleep on, and that was the biggest factor in my decision.
So do you think you were encouraged nationally to do this, or was it more local?
Again, I'm not going to get into specific calls with specific people, but I did get a lot of encouragement to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I know I was supposed to give you a follow-up then. Yeah.
Other than knocking off a Republican, what is your platform?
Yeah, so listen, I'm going to be running on largely the same issues that I prioritize as treasurer, right? I care about education. I want to get to universal preschool. I want to make college more affordable. I want to continue to deliver on infrastructure. The federal infrastructure bill, which just passed, had a lot of great things in it. Zero for school construction, which is an issue that I'm passionate about. I want to do what I can from Washington to help with healthcare staffing shortages. The federal government has resources in excess of what the state has. So the very first bill that I'm going to put in when I'm down there is a bill to give healthcare workers a raise. Climate and infrastructure. I'm going to support the Green New Deal. I am going to take a bold stance because we are the ocean state and we need leaders who will do that. So, as the campaign goes on, I will roll out a more robust platform. Again, just like we've done in previous races that I've had where we have led on substance, we will lead on substance in this race as well, but off the top of my head, those are some of the things that are top of mind, in addition to what I said earlier about defending democracy, which is, of course, number one.
All right, and one more quick follow-up.
Yeah.
You and I spoke about, the upcoming $300 million school bond that, you're trying to help push. So how are you going to try to balance that campaign with what you're trying to do now down in Washington in order to try to, in the hopes to try to get this $300 million school bond get?
Yeah, so I'm still going to be pushing very hard for the school bond this year. We have to do it. Look, I was balancing my official duties as treasurer with my prior campaign for the last 4 months. I will continue to do the same going forward.
What are you gonna do with your campaign cash?
Well, I'm going to have conversations with our supporters and our donors and, ask them what they want, given this decision that we've made. But my hope is that many of them will choose to support us in the congressional race.
And with your existing funds?
Yeah, so again, I'll have conversations with my donors and my supporters and honor their preferences and their desires, but I will be asking for all of their support in the congressional race, and I hope to have it. There was somebody over here, was it?
I have the same question as Patrick,
Oh.
actually, but to be clear, anyone who donated to your campaign for governor will be offered a refund?
Again, I will reach out to all of our supporters, and we will honor their wishes, but I will be asking for their support in this race.
And just to be clear, you said the first bill you would introduce would raise to healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Reimbursement rates, what would that do?
We'll work out the details as we get further into the campaign, but I know it's a priority for me. At a high level, it's a priority for me. Yeah. Brian?
Treasurer, you mentioned kind of the political leanings of the district and how it's difficult for
Yeah.
Democrats. I mean, you would be considered a more progressive Democrat, and I think in that race, are you concerned that you're too far left and maybe a more centrist Democrat would have a better chance against a Republican in this race?
No, listen, all of the issues that I just noted that I'm going to prioritize, right? Education, clean energy, voting rights, these are things that I think have broad appeal. And the reason that I think we will do well in this race and we will win this race is not necessarily because of ideology, it's because I have the experience of running and winning in the district. I know the district and they know me.
Have you talked with Dr. Alexander Scott at all this week? Do you know what her
No.
plans are?
Not going to get into any specific conversations with specific individuals.
Treasurer, I know you're trying to figure out purple underwear a little bit, but one thing that Congressman Langevin kind of came under a little bit of fire for in recent years has been trading stocks.
Yeah.
And there's a push to potentially ban members of Congress from doing that. Do you support banning?
Yes, members of Congress should not be trading individual stocks, period. Yeah.
Did Dr. Alexander Scott's interest in this race change your timing? From all accounts, you were ready to jump in?
Yeah, so again, this was a big decision with a lot of very challenging factors. My belief in what we were doing in the governor's race, the family considerations, all the rest. It took me a little time to make this decision because it was a big one.
What are your family considerations?
Again, I have
Are they supportive?
Yes, yeah. My wife is supportive. My family is supportive. We've got a 3-month-old son, and who's doing great and who we love. And I don't expect anyone to be sympathetic, but because this is the life that we've chosen, right? But the prospect of commuting back and forth to D.C. with a 3-month-old is not an easy one. But I do believe there's something bigger at stake here in the fight that's going on in Washington that I want to be a part of.
But what's wrong with being governor?
Nothing. I mean, there's nothing. I wasn't prepared for that one. I don't. No, I mean, look, it's an honor to serve in any capacity, and I say that as someone who's been in public service for several years now. But the fight that's happening in Washington right now is the fight of our generation, and we need strong Democratic leadership there at this time.
I mean, you could, and to follow up on his question, I mean, you could end up being a freshman legislator in the minority.
Yeah.
Why would you go for that instead of governor?
I will say, without getting into specific conversations with specific individuals, part of my diligence was I did talk to a number of members of Congress, not just the Rhode Island delegation, but others. And one of the things that interested me is that almost half of the current members of the House of Representatives have been there less than 6 years. Congress is actually skewing younger. And so I actually think this could be an interesting time over the next few years in the House where there will be a new generation of leadership coming up. that can bring some new ideas, fresh perspectives, and I look forward to being a part of that. You know, I don't know what the draft is like. I don't know how that process works. But,
How old are
yeah.
you?
I'm 38. Yeah.
Time for Nancy Pelosi to hand over the gavel?
Let's win this election, but I have a tremendous well of respect for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she is, I don't know her personally, but as an observer, I think she's one of the savviest politicians in the country, and I think we're very lucky to have her as Speaker.
Any other questions?
All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your patience. Thank you all.
Where are you going today? Where are you going after this?
I think I'm going to take a nap, but then we're going to get to work. No, I'm kidding. I'm going, now I'm going to do some Zooms with my reporters, my supporters, and walk them through what I just walked you through, why we made this decision, why it's important, and ask for their support. So we're going to do a series of Zooms with people who've been supportive of me through the years.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Thank you all.